In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 college football games happening on November 15, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Utah versus Baylor. Utah heads south this weekend to meet Baylor. Utah enters with a record of 7-2 overall and 4-2 in league play. The team has taken its last 2 contests with an average winning margin of 38.5 points. In its most recent outing, Utah handed Cincinnati its first league setback with a steady and physical effort. Baylor stands at 5-4 overall and 3-3 in conference play. The Bears beat UCF 30-3 in their last game. Their quarterback, Sawyer Robertson, threw for 267 yards and 3 touchdowns. Their defense held UCF to 225 total yards and produced 2 takeaways. Both teams had a week off, so each should be fresh. Robertson has passed for 2,780 yards and 26 touchdowns this season. His production has made Baylor an appealing option for anyone looking at a home underdog. Yet Utah enters this matchup on a strong run with wins in 5 of its last 6 games. The team has not been scraping by. It has been winning with wide margins. Utah ranks 5th in scoring margin at plus 21.8, and that figure has risen over the last 3 games with a plus 24.7 average. Any worry about the road environment should fade. Utah holds a slightly stronger scoring margin away from home. Baylor can score, but the Bears have struggled when facing stronger competition. Utah ranks 6th against the pass, allowing only 156 yards a game. That strength should test Robertson throughout the afternoon. Baylor has covered twice in its last 9 games. The current 7.5-point number is the largest it has faced this season. Utah brings an elite ground game, and Baylor ranks 113 in run defense. Baylor also ranks 86 in third down defense, 87 in opponent red zone touchdown rate, and 127 in havoc created. Utah has the pieces to press that advantage for long stretches. Utah can also pressure Robertson. The team ranks 15th in sacks and sits in the top 25 in both havoc created and havoc allowed. Baylor has a turnover margin of -8 with 17 giveaways. That trend has hurt the Bears in several tight moments. Utah has covered in 4 of its last 5 contests, and each of those covers came when favored by 9 points or more. Here, Utah enters in steady form while Baylor has shown more uneven results. Utah has faltered only against Texas Tech and BYU, 2 teams in the playoff picture. Baylor has not reached that level of play, and Utah's run game sets up well against the Bears' front. Utah has played at a dominant pace for several weeks. The analysis points toward that pattern continuing before any final call is made. As our first pick for this matchup, the Utah Utes to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Baylor struggles to keep pace when its opponent controls the ball. Utah can stay on the ground, limit Baylor's possessions, and lean on a defense that protects the ball and forces mistakes. Baylor has held the ball for limited stretches this season and sits at 95 in time of possession. Utah converts on third down, produces long runs, and drains the clock. The teams may trade points early, but Baylor has shown signs of wearing down after halftime. The analysis builds toward that direction before reaching any firm outcome. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total, is our full game total pick. Georgia versus Texas. The Texas Longhorns and Georgia Bulldogs meet Saturday in a college football matchup at Sanford Stadium. Georgia comes in after a strong showing against Mississippi State. Before that game, it played tight contests against Mississippi and Florida. Texas brings a defense that can slow Georgia, with a front that ranks among the best in the nation. The Longhorns protect the ball and sit 10th in turnover margin. Manning has looked like the quarterback many expected in the preseason Heisman race over the past 2 weeks. He should get time in the pocket because Georgia's pass rush has lacked force, which gives him chances to target a secondary that has shifted from solid to shaky from week to week. This sets up a tense stretch where neither side gains full control until the final moments. Georgia stays steady at home, and its overall year has shown more consistent form. Texas sits at 2-6-1 against the spread this season and has not matched its home level in road games. Even so, this stage carries a playoff feel, and Texas has the talent to match Georgia snap after snap. Getting a roster of this quality as an underdog carries value, especially with Georgia at 4-10 against the spread in its last 14 games when favored by 5 or more points. With all of this in view, the picture stays tight until the end, and the final choice follows at the close. As our first pick for this matchup, the Texas Longhorns to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both offenses sit inside the top 50 in points per game. Texas has gone over the posted number in 2 straight games. Georgia has gone over in 2 of its last 3. The forecast in Athens calls for clear conditions and mid-60s temperatures, which support steady scoring. These factors set up a game with long drives and sudden bursts, yet the final call belongs at the end as our second pick for this matchup. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Ohio State versus UCLA. The UCLA Bruins and Ohio State Buckeyes meet Saturday at Ohio Stadium for a matchup shaped by sharp contrasts in performance and depth. The all-time series sits at 4-1 straight up, and the most recent meeting came in 2001. UCLA's road results this season show a 1-3 straight-up mark and a 2-2 against the spread record. The Bruins took a 50-point defeat at number 2 Indiana 3 weeks ago, and they now head into another difficult setting. Rain and low 60s temps may add more strain. Ohio State has handled stronger opponents than UCLA with ease. 4 of the Buckeyes' wins came by at least 32 points, and 2 of those wins came in their last 3 outings. At home, they give up only 6.6 points per game. UCLA brings one of the weakest offenses in the conference into Columbus, and Ohio State tends to stay focused from week to week. UCLA arrived at this stretch after a 3-game win streak, but now carries 2 losses into the weekend. Yamalova faced this Ohio State defense in last year's CFP, finishing 14 of 31 for 104 yards with 47 rushing yards and 2 rushing scores in a 42-17 loss. He now meets a defense that allows only 128.7 passing yards per game and 82.9 rushing yards per game at 2.8 yards per carry, and he does so with fewer weapons than he had last season. UCLA gave up 56 points to Indiana, which sits close to the 65 points Ohio State has surrendered across 9 games. Only one opponent has scored more than 14 points on the Buckeyes this year. While UCLA has made progress over the past month, the gap against stronger competition remains clear. Ohio State is unbeaten and stands at 7-1 against the spread, which is the best cover rate in college football at 87.5%. In the last 2 games where Ohio State entered as a 30-point favorite or more, the combined margin reached 115-0. Across the last 5 such games, the margin reached 272-20. The line reflects that history and current form, and the analysis leads to the final judgment at the end. As our first pick for this matchup, the Ohio State Buckeyes to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. This matchup pairs a top 5 offense in the conference with a scoring unit near the bottom. More important, it places the nation's top defense against an offense that has stalled in key moments. Ohio State owns 2 shutouts this season, one of which came against Wisconsin, the only Big Ten team scoring fewer points than UCLA. 6 times this year, the Buckeyes have held opponents under 10 points, and 4 of those results came at home. UCLA scored 6 points in its most recent road game, and that came against number 2 Indiana. Ohio State's offense often controls the pace and rarely pushes the score beyond what the moment calls for. They have posted 38 points or fewer in 5 of their 6 conference games and have topped 48 points only once. If the outcome hinges on Ohio State's defense, that group has handled the workload all season, and the analysis builds toward the closing decision. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. TCU versus BYU. In what many see as the key Big 12 game on Saturday, this meeting between the TCU Horned Frogs and BYU Cougars shapes the path for the weeks ahead. TCU comes off a loss to Iowa State, where it built a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter but could not hold it. The box score still showed clear control. TCU gained almost 200 more yards, created almost twice as many first downs, and moved the ball with ease. 3 turnovers and a punt return touchdown in the fourth quarter shifted the result. Without those swings, the outcome likely looks different. The numbers point to a team that performed stronger than its record suggests. The offense looked healthier after the bye week and continued to show strength on key downs. It remains a top 20 group in third and fourth down success rate, quality drives, and points per drive. The defense supports the case. It holds its ground against the run, ranking 13th in expected points added per rush and 26th in rushing success rate allowed. That helps lighten the load on Josh Hoover, who does not need to chase a high point total to keep this game tight. BYU enters with 1 loss but has walked a demanding Big 12 path. The recent stretch raises questions about fatigue. The passing attack now sits 70th in success rate, and several offensive marks fall outside the top 50, including points per drive. The recent form from the BYU quarterback adds to the concern after a rough outing against Texas Tech. TCU has played like a top 25 defense in recent weeks, and steady play at quarterback keeps this game within reach as our first pick for this matchup. The TCU Horned Frogs to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams defend the run at a steady level. TCU gives up 124 rushing yards per game and 3.3 yards per carry. BYU allows 131.6 rushing yards per game and 3.8 yards per carry. BYU leans on a disciplined defense that gives up only 18 points per game and performs well in the red zone. That approach often reduces the game to long fields and shorter possessions. TCU limits the run with strength up front, and that can slow BYU's ground attack. BYU likes to run, with 200 rushing yards per game and 5.2 yards per carry. TCU runs for 122.8 yards per game and 3.9 yards per carry, with each side leaning on the pass at key moments and with neither offense built for explosive swings. The pace stays measured. TCU has struggled to finish drives and protect the ball, and that trend can also shorten the game. 5 of TCU's last 7 games have finished under the total, and the matchup points toward a similar script built on field position and long drives as our second pick for this matchup. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.